Hey guys, it's Mike, the head of marketing at Heartbeat. In this update, I want to share with you some news from our support team, including updates to our roadmap. I want to let you know about some amazing events that we have coming up in the Hearth and our decision to sponsor, again, an incredible podcast for community builders. Let's get into it. All right, so up first is news about the rollout of our new desktop UI. If you've been accessing the Hearth through the custom domain, which is community.heartbeat.chat, you'll have been enjoying the amazing new UI design. And if you are in the earlier phases of the rollout and you use a custom domain, you'll have had this in yours. I know I've been using it in mine. But when is it getting to everybody? We're coming down the final stretch here. We're just hitting the last few edge cases, getting it rolled out. Wanted to be clear, this is going to be accessible to everybody with custom domains and people who don't use custom domains. So if your community is still on app.heartbeat.chat / the name of your community, not a problem. You're going to get this. This will be the way that all desktop communities look when it's fully rolled out. We do also have some additional tweaks coming in the pipeline, but I wanted to give you the final update that this beautiful aesthetic, wherever side of the screen I'm on, that aesthetic is going to be the way that your community will look with all the customization, splash image, background gradients, new layouts, all of that. It's coming your way very, very soon. It's also worth noting that the product team is shipping a mobile update this week. It's not as dramatic of a reskin as you're seeing in the desktop. It's not even a reskin at all. This is all of the under the hood stuff that makes apps work really well. And you got to make updates to these, 2, 4, 5 times a year. And what we're doing is one of the major updates we're including is the mechanics that involve video playing, among other things. But why I'm calling this one out is that we've had some folks say that, hey, on Android, the video experience on mobile hasn't been really what I expected it to be. And we hear you. It's not exactly what we expected it to be. So we have a new mechanism on the back end that runs video on mobile. That is going to be pushed out with the next mobile app update. If you have apps updates turned on, your members of app updates turned on, this is just going to effortlessly push out. They don't have anything special to do. And it's going to replace the old player with the new player. It's going to look the same. It's just going to work better. The scaling, the shaping, the playing, the mechanics, the behavior is just going to be more fluid, more expected. It seems like one of those things that's like not worth shouting out in the newsletter, but I did want to point out that we do make updates, even though we haven't done like a big mobile app update for like over a year now. We're taking care of the things that we do build. You're going to get that same attention on desktop. You're going to get that same attention throughout the platform. And lastly, from the product team, I want to give you an update on all this surveying we're doing and what it means for the roadmap. So if you've been part of some of these emails, we sent out a product market fit survey to measure how well the things that we've made have been fitting for the people using it. And one of the big questions we asked was, how disappointed would you be if Heartbeat disappeared, if you could no longer use it anymore? It's a great indicator to let us know, if they're very disappointed, we've made a great thing. If they're somewhat disappointed, we've got a little bit of work to do, and then they'll love it. And that's the main insight that we really wanted to glean from it. And here's the cool thing. Most software out there in the world that you can think of, when they do this sort of surveys of their customers, they get roughly 40% of the respondents that say they'd be very disappointed if it just disappeared. What we found out is that 72% of our customers would be very disappointed. This means we are closer to double the product market fit than the average successful software platform out there. The people who are using it are loving what we've built so far. That doesn't mean that we're going to just stop innovating. It just means that it's validated the things that we've put time into to date, and then we were able to drill in in a very focused way and understand the kinds of things that you guys would need. The folks that weren't very disappointed, the folks who were kind of only somewhat disappointed, we know exactly what you guys are looking at. And it was interesting. It wasn't a giant hole. Across a variety of different community businesses, we understand now that there's what we would call quality of life fixes, but they're more than that because they're more than a pebble in a shoe. They're blockers to you bringing the complete vision that you have for running your business all in one on Heartbeat. And so what you're going to see from us in coming weeks is new plans and roadmaps to what features we're rolling out. And we're going to start hitting a variety of different functions all across Heartbeat and leveling them up in ways that unblock a bunch of people who are looking to get more integrated, more control over their experience with Heartbeat. That's really hard to show. I can't just be like, oh, this is the new desktop UI. I can't just say, oh, here's the fact that our support queue is empty. Like, these are obvious things that are, easy for businesses in fair weather conditions to just shout out about. But I wanted to share with you that we're embracing this difficult challenge of accepting, a couple dozen small things that take more code lift that seem like a small delivery but make an outsized impact for community builders like you. So stay tuned specifically on what some of these things are. We're trying to work through getting them in order, getting some things scoped out. Thank you to everybody who's filling out these surveys, and thank you to everybody who's filling out any follow-up emails that we're sending out. I know Nick and Mortisa have been shooting out follow-ups. Some of the things we just want to get a little bit more color on, like just giving us ability to prioritize our development resources to build the things that you need as quickly as possible. So if you do get one of those follow-up emails, please take the time to either book a 10-minute call with us or fill out the questionnaire that they send back to you. It really does help us take the feedback you gave us and move it forward into reality. And just a rapid fire shout out to our support team. Their queue got down to just 8 open tickets the other day. We've really got this thing dialed in. So if you guys need support, by all means, we're here to help and we're able to help quickly. The big thing I want to make sure that you're aware of is that our new help center has a lot of the quick answer stuff that you might need too. So I'm not telling you not to call in a support, but if you're the sort of person like me who's like, I just want to read something. I don't need to have a call about this. I just want to read it. We've got you covered. In the Help Center, you can search for articles. We're going to prompt things that are featured, that is high volume stuff that's been happening. We've been also noticing the types of searches that are popular, payments, courses, events. And we've bubbled up some key resources like migration, watching a walkthrough, getting a basic one step-by-step guide to it, and of course, all the individual topics. These should look very familiar because they're segmented out based on the different parts of the community. Navigate through these. If you want to learn about courses, click on courses. Looks like we got 11 articles here that you can dive in on. And of course, you can easily navigate over once you're done with courses. Okay, let me look at threads again. You can pop over here and click on a threads overview. Almost every single article has videos and descriptions that you can watch on your own, available 24/7, 365. But as always, if you need help from our support team, post in the tech support channel in the Hearth. That'll make a ticket. Reminder, posting in the Ask the Community section in the Hearth will not make a ticket, but it will get you peer support. And of course, the bottom right corner of your community, if you need help, you can click on that help bot. It'll open up a conversation. That conversation will prompt you with some articles, but it will also open a ticket so that we can have a human being back you up. Now, I want to update you on an exciting thing we decided to do again. In the past, if you've been with us for a minute, you know that we have sponsored the Dear Bree podcast. Dear Bree is a podcast by Bree Lever. She's a community strategist at Ember Consulting, which helps people build their community right the first time. This podcast is all about bringing you the drama, fiascos, and crazy things that happen sometimes when you're building a community business. This is a brilliant show because it lets you learn from other people's mistakes, which is kind of the definition of wisdom, right? You learn from your own mistakes, that's experience. Learning from other people's mistakes, that gives you wisdom and traction faster than you can make your own mistakes, and quite frankly, a little less costly than you can make your own mistakes. We are now in Season 2. Episode 1 of Season 2 just dropped. Where's community building today, and where is it headed? With Zach Hotoff, CEO at Tightknit. 13 prior episodes, let me get down here. 13 prior episodes are already in the queue. You can listen to this anywhere you listen to podcasts, so Spotify, Apple, all the places. And let me tell you, I listened to this before I joined the Heartbeat team. This was a series of things that helped me think about my community so that I didn't build in these accidental mistakes that folks who are writing into this show with a Dear Bree letter said, hey, I'm worried about this, or I got questions about this, or I had a drama moment where I launched this and it didn't work out, or I had a member who said this, you wouldn't believe it. All of these different things are now not just handled by Bree, but by expert guests who are on this show. People who are deeply entrenched and experienced in the science and art of community building. It is one of my favorite podcasts. It is not a fly-by-night podcast. It is not a underproduced podcast. It is not a tangentially relevant podcast. If there was ever a podcast tailor-made for everyone watching this video, reading this email right now, it'd be Dear Bree. So if you haven't, you should. Go binge this thing. It's worth it. I remember that when I first started listening to this, having that moment and that light bulb go off about all the things I needed to work on with my community. I was mowing the front lawn, and I was just had the ear pods in. I was just like listening to this thing. And before I had recognized it, I had mowed over the lawn more than I needed to, like more than once. It's that good, guys. It's that good. So if you haven't yet, I'm putting the link in this email. Dear Bree is a outstanding podcast. It's directly relevant for community builders. There aren't many out there that do this. There's great business advice, but the ones that are focused at the kinds of unique challenges the community builders make, few and far between. Super proud to be sponsoring Dear Bree. Listen to it anywhere you get your podcasts. All right, and I'm going to play Mortiza right now and have an effortless segue. Speaking of Bree and questions that go to her, if you look in the Hearth, we have some amazing events coming up with a special one on Tuesday the 20th, hosted by Bree herself. So we have podcast host Bree Lever bringing us an AMA. She will be here from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, May 20th, answering any questions that you guys want to bring. Please attend. Bring the heat, bring the questions. She invites the challenge of any questions that you guys have. So if you haven't RSVP'd to this one yet, I got the link in the email. Go to the Hearth and click RSVP. 27 folks are in here so far, but we've only got a few days left till Tuesday. So get in here and get your questions answered from a highly experienced community strategist who's also talked to some of the best names out there when it comes to community building. I'm not missing this one. Neither should you. I would be remiss not to shout out that before that session, this Friday, which by the time this email gets out there, it'll be tomorrow, you have Friday Marketing Support Live with Drew Donaldson. We've got regularly over 100 folks registered for these sessions. Come for up to 90 minutes. Don't have to stay for the whole time. It's not a full fixed presentation. It's kind of a co-working session. It's designed to help you better market your business and community. Copywriting help? You can get it. Landing page layout? You can get it. What's the right social proof to use? We're going to help you figure that out. That's what this session's all about. Drew knows his stuff. Everything in and out that you would need to promote and market any offer, but particularly a community offer, Drew can help you with it. So if you aren't yet, RSVP, it is 12 p.m. Friday the 16th, and hope to see you there with 162 other people. And one last event to round out this roundup is a special event by one of our preferred partners, Elijah Drown, and the session is how Dungeons & Dragons helps you create confident content. Elijah's a creative strategist, podcast director who helps people bring fun and creativity out of themselves in an authentic way and apply it to content creation. We all know that there's many ways to create content. There's a lot of systems out there to talk about the efficiencies and the processes of it. But when it comes to the substance of that content, how do I bring personality to it? How do I think creatively? I'm not a creative person. I'm a business person. Not all of us have the gift of that. All of us have different strengths. And that's where complementary coaching or complementary support can come into play. Elijah is a creative strategist and podcast expert. He helps individuals and small teams create standout audio and video content. So when it comes to podcasting, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to any of these things, Elijah is really experienced. He's recently helped us grow our YouTube channel significantly. He's helped a lot of other channels create shows that have increased listener retention, including live streams. Very experienced. And if you join this session, you're going to learn a different view on how you approach and create content from marketing videos, engaging with your community, etc. You don't have to think about it all the times in the cut and dry kind of MBA watered down way that a lot of times we approach this. It's for community members looking to become more human, engaging, and creative without losing sight of your brand, mission, or even revenue objectives. So Dungeons & Dragons is a really fun way to be able to think about story crafting and experience building from content. You don't have to be a total D&D nerd to come to this one. It's a wonderful foil to help you understand a different perspective on content creation. So if you want, and I hope you do because I will be there, it is at 1 p.m. Wednesday the 21st of May, 1 p.m. Eastern. And there's already got 29 people RSVP'd for this. So if you have not, please join the more than 24 people who are coming. Join me. I know I'll be there. I hope you're there too. Also, I'll shout out one last event. We have our live Heartbeat orientation walkthroughs every Tuesday. The next one, May 20th at 1 p.m. I love these sessions because let's say you've been on the fence, you've seen our newsletter, you've been in the Hearth, you're hesitant to spin up a trial, or maybe you spun up a trial, you're in it, and you're just like, I just need to make sure I get the most out of this to know whether what's in my head is something I can build with Heartbeat. You can try and build some things on your own. I did it. It worked. I have my business. I'm going on year 3 now for my community business. But if you're not like that, if you're the sort of person who wants to see it, who wants to understand what the best people are doing, and to get it in a concise, efficient meeting where you can talk to a human being about it, These are group orientation walkthroughs, and I highly recommend them. You and a couple other folks are going to be together in a live session where one member of our team who's an expert runs a walk through the platform and answers your questions. Drill into it. Just dig in. It doesn't matter if the question wasn't answered on the website. The person who runs this session is the person who helps build it. So they will answer everything that you have. Even if they can't answer the question immediately, we know the people who will get you that answer. Super valuable to attend these. So if you're on the fence or if you're in a trial and you want to think about using Heartbeat, join this one May 20th at 1 p.m. Click to RSVP on that one. We hope to see you there. I want to send a super huge shout out to Hannah. Thank you for this moment of customer love. This is an email between Hannah and Mortisa, and they were talking about Heartbeat. This introduction basically says a couple of amazing things I wanted to share with you guys and just let you know how full our heart was. Hannah writes, I recently found Heartbeat through ChatGPT when asking for the right platform to migrate my community to. She goes on to say, overall, I'm very impressed with the features you have. I have not seen a platform like yours before, and you have some attributes that solve issues I have had from the beginning. I love the matchup feature as well as the Zoom integration right on the platform. I've been watching all the vids on the platform. They are phenomenal. Hannah, that's the same thing that happened to me. I didn't discover it through ChatGPT. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that little tidbit. But the videos in the Help Center and on the website were some of the things that helped me make my decision to start Heartbeat too. So we're in the same boat. I remember, I was a customer before I became a team member. So I was unbiasedly choosing Heartbeat long before I became anywhere part of growing it. So Hannah, thank you. Thank you for sharing this sort of insight in this outreach email. You've already taught us more than market research can teach us in this little experience. So thank you so much for sharing this insight. Super cool you found us through ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT, for doing that for us. But Hannah, we hope that we were able to continue supporting you through this kind of inquiry that you made. We're excited to see what you can build on Heartbeat. Welcome to the Heartbeat family. Thanks so much for this wonderful moment of customer love. And that's everything I have for this week's update. As always, I'm Mike, the head of marketing, and I'll see you guys next time.